Hello everyone, welcome back to Wade the JavaScript. In this video, we are going to learn about data types in JavaScript. So to understand what data types is, imagine you are a chef and you can't handle different ingredients the same way, right? Like veggies, rice, pasta, and all those things need different treatment in order to make a dish. The same way, in JavaScript, we have different types of values that need different handling. So basically, JavaScript is the chef who handles all these different types of values differently. So let's see what all types of data we have in JavaScript. Categorically, we have two types of data in JavaScript. One is primitive and the other is object. So primitive data types are like something simpler. For example, you have tomato, you have milk. Those two things can be used on their own independently. You don't need to mix it with anything in order to use that. So primitive data types are just like that, the simple data types which can be used on their own. So we have 7 types under primitive data types: boolean, undefined, null, number, string, and symbol. And next we have object data types. These data types are something complex. For example, you can think of a book of recipes. Each recipe will require a set of ingredients to make. Similar to that, we have objects, which is made of different data types. So let's move forward and look at each of these data types in detail. So first we have boolean data type. So a boolean data types can either be false or true. So let's see it in action. So let's define a boolean. Let is JavaScript series is equals to true. We already saw variables in previous video, and is JavaScript series is a variable name here. If you're confused about what let is or what this variable name is, you can go watch my video on variables. Let's continue with boolean here. Now I'm going to console.log this value is JavaScript series, and I'm going to see type of it. See, we have boolean. So I'm also going to log the value of this. So we have type as boolean and we have value as true. It can also be false. So that's how we define a boolean in JavaScript. Next we have undefined. So undefined is something which is not initialized. For example, you have crush on someone and you didn't tell them, but you're dreaming about it, you're expecting a life together, but nothing is going to happen since you didn't tell them, so it's not initialized yet. So just keep dreaming. Let's see what it is in action. So for undefined, we are simply going to declare a variable and not going to assign any value to it. So now when I'm going to log this variable, it is going to return undefined. Let's see the type of this variable. Undefined again. So that's how we define an undefined type of variable. So next in the line, we have null data type. With null data type, we have absence of a value. That means in future, there's going to be a value. It's just absent at the moment. For example, you have a cat house, but you don't have a cat yet. So in future, whenever you have a cat, you know this house belongs to the cat. Obviously, आप तो इसमें नहीं रहने वाले हैं. It's going to be a pet who is going to live in it. So let's see null in action. So for the null data type, we are going to assign a value null to this variable and we are going to log it. So we have value as null. So null is basically you want to clear your disk and you make sure there is nothing on it. Next in the line, we have number. So these are the different type of number we have in JavaScript. First, we have integers like the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and so on. So next we have floating point numbers. So as you all must be familiar with decimal numbers in maths, like 1.2, 4.5, 1 to 3.45, like that. And finally, we have special numbers like infinity, minus infinity, and not a number. Let's first define an integer number. Let number of this video is equals to 3, and console.log number this video 3, and we are going to see type of number in this of this video is number. Okay, now let's define a floating number. Floating number is, let's say, 3.11, and console.log floating number and type of floating number. So we got 3.11 and type is number. Now let's see special numbers like infinity. So as we know that for infinity, if we divide any number by 0, we are going to get log what? Infinity. And console.log, I don't know why it's suggesting let. Oh, sorry, I didn't assign minus to it. We have minus infinity. So for not a number, I'm going to define it like, let's try to divide undefined by 3, which is, we can use number of this video here for 3, and let's log not a number. Ta-da! We have not a number because we are trying to divide something which is not a number by a number. So as an outcome, we have not a number. And let's see the type of it. So type of not a number is a number. So next we have string data type. And no, it's not something complicated like tangle yarn string, but it's something way simpler. So string data type is basically something enclosed within quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes. We are going to see how it works. And on string, we have different methods. So first we have length, which tells about the length of the string. That is the number of characters in the string. So next we have toUpperCase, which basically returns the string in capitals. Similar to that, we have toLowerCase, which returns the string in lowercase. Next we have slice and so on. So we are going to see some of these in action. So to define a string, all we need is a pair of quotes. It can be double quotes or single quotes. So let's define it. Name is equals to Wade the JavaScript. Console.log and name. We have logged name successfully, and now I'm going to reuse this name here in the message. Hello from plus name, and we are going to log the message. Hello from Wade the JavaScript. Let's make it look a bit better. Ta-da! So we have hello from Wade the JavaScript. So this is called concatenation of a string. Basically, we can combine two strings together using this plus operator. So let's also see a couple of methods on string. So I'm going to log the length of the string, message dot length and also the length of name. Name dot length, and for name we have 19 characters including the spaces. Now let's convert the name into uppercase. Console.log name dot to uppercase. So we have it in caps now, and similarly we can convert it to the lowercase. Here we have it. So we have a lot of methods available on the string similar to this uppercase and lowercase, and we'll see some of those in the coming videos. But for more, you can go to the documentation and read it out from there. And finally, under the primitive data types, we have symbol. So for beginners, let's not dive too deep, but simply see what a symbol is. So a symbol is like a unique identifier. For example, a symbol is like a fingerprint. No two fingerprints are same, as each fingerprint has its own unique identity, its own unique pattern. Similar to that, we have symbol, which is always going to be unique. So let's see how we define a symbol. And let symbol is equals to symbol, and we're going to give an ID to it. So let's say Wade the JavaScript, and now I'm going to log it. It's not going to return us anything, but it's going to simply write symbol as Wade the JavaScript. See? And as I told you that every symbol is unique, so now let's define another symbol with same description. Symbol Wade the JavaScript. Going to log it. Symbol 1, run. We have the same, but now I'm going to compare these two. Symbol is equals to, so in JavaScript for equality we compare with 3 equal signs, and it's going to return either a true or a false, basically a boolean. So this is going to return a false. So as I told you, each symbol is unique and is immutable. As a beginner, you won't be using much of it, but they are powerful for building libraries or to avoid key name collisions in objects. So that's all on symbols for now. For the object data types, first in the line we have array. So an array is like a collection of data. This data can be of same type or can be different, and we store the values here by the index. So index for an array starts at 0 and goes on like 1, 2, 3 and so on. And we have a length for an array. For example, we have the length 4 here. From 0 to 3, we have 4 values in this array. So the simplest way to define an array is this: a pair of square brackets. But since this is empty, so on logging it, we are going to get nothing but an empty collection like this. Now let's define a list of fruits. So let fruits is equals to orange, lychee, and let's say kiwi. And console.log fruits. So we have an array of fruits. We can also have an array of numbers, or we can mix the data types here. So let's say mix array. So we can have, let's say, a string type, which is a fruit here, and a number, let's say 3, and let's say a value as null. And now let's log it. mix array. So an array is basically a list or a cart on a multi-purpose shopping e-commerce website where you can have a pair of shoes in the bag, and you can have a perfume, and you can have clothes, or maybe you can have something home appliance and anything like that, whatever is available out there. So let's see some of the methods we have on array. So let's first try to find a value by an index. As I told you, arrays have index. So in array, let's try to find value at 0th index, since array starts from 0. Since array is empty, we have value at 0th index as undefined. Now let's try to access value at 0th index in this array named as fruits. At 0, we have orange. Fruits at 2 is kiwi, since we have 0, 1, 2, and now let's try to access fruits at 3. So we don't have index 3, since the length of array is 3 and index is always going to be length minus 1 since it starts at 0. So run it, and we have value as undefined. Now let's see a couple of more methods available on arrays. Not all of it, but some. So console.log, let's try to log the length of mix array. Length, we have length as 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now let's try to assign some value array. 2 is equals to true. Now console.log mix array. So we have orange, 3, and true. We have successfully replaced the value at 2nd index, which was null earlier. We have a lot more methods available on arrays, and we'll be seeing some of those in the coming videos. Okay, so next in the line we have object data type. An object basically is a way to store multiple related values together in key value pairs. For example, you have a backpack, and in this backpack you can pack all the things you need, like a notebook, a snack, or maybe a water bottle, or anything, whatever you need. So in simple words, object basically एक container होता है जिसमें आप multiple labeled pieces of data store कर सकते हैं, all related to one thing, जहाँ पे label आपका key है और value is the thing itself. So let's see how we define an object. Let's define a backpack as an object. So this is how we define an object. Now let's see the type of it. Type of backpack is an object. Okay, now let's assign different values to it. So backpack is equals to, so let's have a notebook in a backpack. For that we are going to have a key named as notebook, and let's name the book as JavaScript notebook. So we have this notebook in the backpack. Next, let's have a snack. Let's say we have chocolates. Okay, and let's have a bottle, which is a water bottle. So we have successfully defined a backpack. Now console.log backpack. So backpack is ready and we are ready to go. So let's see a couple of things we can do on objects. So we can access value by the key backpack dot notebook. So it's going to give the name, the value of the notebook, which is JavaScript notebook. Let's try to access something which is not there in the backpack. Let's say console.log backpack.medical kit. So it's going to give us undefined, since we don't have a medical kit in a backpack. Now let's list all the keys available in this object named as backpack. So we have this built-in method object.keys and backpack. So this is going to return us an array of all the keys. So we have notebook, snack and bottle as the keys. And similar to this object.keys, we have object.values, which returns us the values of the things in the object. We have JavaScript notebook, chocolates and water bottle as values in this object. We also have another method named as object.entries, which returns us an array of key and value pairs. So let's see how it looks. So we have array of arrays, and inside it we have key and value for it. So I hope you understood all of these data types, and next in the series I'm going to explain functions. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned. We have got more bits coming your way. See you again. Thank you.